The median age of a first-time homebuyer in America has reached an all-time high of 40 years old. That delay means nearly a third of young adults are currently living in their childhood bedrooms, unable to afford a space of their own. You might expect a generation stuck at home to be aggressively hoarding cash, but the data shows the opposite. Young renters are increasing their spending on leisure and travel, while reporting a drop in their overall effort at work compared to homeowners. Older generations frequently point to these spending habits as a lack of discipline. They see young professionals buying lattes and booking flights instead of saving, and conclude the youth are simply lazy. Economists have a different term for this behavior: financial nihilism. When young people look at the housing market, they are doing the math required to hit traditional goals and realizing the numbers do not work. It is a rational calculation. When the finish line moves faster than you can run, saving stops feeling like discipline. Grinding 60 hours a week is no longer a virtue, it's a bad investment. This dual line chart maps the reality of the 21st century economy. The bottom line tracks average wages, which grew by 54% since 2000. The top line tracks median home prices, skyrocketing by 243%. Prices rose 5 times faster than incomes. This vertical bar shows the income now needed for a starter home, $111,000 a year. For someone fresh out of college making the national median wage, that requirement might as well exist on another planet. The sticker price is only half the problem. In 2022, the Federal Reserve hiked borrowing costs from their historic lows to fight inflation. This diagram illustrates the penalty of that rate hike. Buying a $400,000 house with a 7% mortgage instead of a 3% mortgage means paying roughly $1,000 extra every single month. That is an extra grand you owe every 30 days for 30 years just to access the same structure. The math is broken. Nearly half the generation knows hard work alone can no longer bridge the gap. The game is rigged. 4 failures created this math. First is the supply disaster. After the 2008 financial crisis wiped out developers, construction collapsed. For over a decade, America built far fewer homes than demanded, drying up inventory. Second is the lock-in effect. Older homeowners who secured 3% mortgages years ago refuse to sell because moving means trading their cheap debt for an expensive 7% loan. Those properties never enter the market. Third, when a starter home does hit the market, first-time buyers are instantly outbid by huge institutional investors and private equity firms. They use all-cash offers to pull single-family homes into permanent rental portfolios. Finally, young buyers carry burdens their parents avoided. Monthly student loan repayments drain hundreds of dollars that should be building a down payment. And without family equity to inherit, those starting from zero stay at zero. These forces compound. Nobody moves up, so nobody can move in. The housing ladder is jammed, locking those at the bottom out of the primary mechanism for building generational wealth. Young Americans are not sitting around accepting this reality. They are rewriting the rules of wealth building outside of the system. The stock market is their first alternative. Since 2015, the number of young adults moving their savings into investment accounts has surged 5-fold. They are opting for the liquidity of index funds rather than trapping their capital in a down payment. They are also looking to cryptocurrency. While volatile, an asset like Bitcoin offers a calculated substitute for the scarce real estate their parents bought. It represents an opportunity to multiply capital in a way that standard wages will not. Even when they do buy property, they approach it differently. Through house hacking, young investors target multi-family units. By living in one unit and renting out the others, tenant income covers their mortgage, letting them live essentially for free. Remote work provides another exit strategy. Instead of paying exorbitant rent in hyper-expensive cities like San Francisco, workers practice geographic arbitrage. They relocate to affordable secondary markets, pocketing the cost of living differences and investing the savings. Critics call these choices speculative. In reality, they are a logical survival strategy for a generation operating without traditional financial guarantees. This downward trending line graph shows the collapse in the market. The share of first-time homebuyers plummeted from 50% in 2010 to a historic low of 24% today. First-time buyers are the engine of the entire system. The market relies on entry-level buyers pushing cash upward. When they buy starter homes, existing owners use that equity to buy larger homes. Without that fresh capital entering at the bottom, the engine freezes. This frozen ladder drastically accelerates wealth inequality. Those who already own property keep compounding their equity as prices rise, while those locked out continue paying rent, funding someone else's asset. Financial nihilism is a generation-wide strike against a broken social contract. America must now reckon with an economy where the engine of prosperity has stalled, and the workers meant to fuel it have simply walked away.